Fluent Flow podcast. New videos every day. Let's learn English together.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something a little different, maybe even unexpected. We're not digging into, complex research papers or ancient history this time.
Right.
Instead, we're taking a really close, insightful look at parts of a podcast episode that might seem quite simple on the surface. It's designed specifically for beginner English students.
That's it.
It's called My Favorite Things to Do at Home, and the host is named Jenny.
And that's what's so fascinating, isn't it? Because while Jenny's delivery is, deliberately friendly, really slow, super clear, perfect for language learners, the actual ideas, the philosophies, the tips she shares, they're completely universal. They offer this blueprint for finding real well-being, for growth, for quiet contentment right there in your own home.
Regardless of language learning.
Exactly. Whether you're learning English or just, looking for a bit more calm in your life.
Absolutely. So our mission today, really, is to look beyond just the surface activities Jenny mentions. We want to pull out the wisdom tucked away in her simple routines, understand not just what she does, but really get into the why. How do these specific things she does help create a life that feels calm, productive, and, ultimately happier?
And we'll also look at her communication style. See, right? The way she chooses her words, the pacing.
Yes. That deliberate slowness and clarity. It's actually a masterclass for anyone interested in communication or even teaching.
It really is. And this connects directly to you, our listener. Doesn't matter where you are on your path.
Right.
Maybe you were learning English, looking for ways to practice that feel, less pressured, more natural.
Or maybe you're just feeling a bit overwhelmed by daily life and want more intention, more peace.
This deep dive offers real practical insights. It's about seeing how small habits, small shifts, can make your home feel like a sanctuary, a place that actually supports you, mind, body, and spirit.
Finding the profound in the simple. I like that. Okay, so let's start with this core idea. Jenny kicks off her episode with something that honestly really stands out in today's world. She says, home is my favorite place. It is quiet. It is calm. And I feel safe. Now, okay, that sounds nice, cozy even.
Sure.
But in our always-on, often chaotic lives, that feels almost radical, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What makes that statement so powerful?
You're right. It is almost radical because we live in a world that's constantly throwing things at us, right? Notifications, noise, demands.
Endless demand.
Endless demands. And Jenny's not just saying, oh, home is nice. She's pointing to a basic human need. Think about Maslow's hierarchy, safety, security, that's the base.
Right at the bottom of the pyramid.
Exactly. So when she says her home is quiet, calm, and safe, she's talking about intentionally creating that fundamental sanctuary. This isn't just about feeling comfortable. It's about setting up the best possible conditions for your brain to actually work properly, for you to relax, to recharge.
Which is such a stark contrast to how many people experience home, isn't it? Sometimes home is just another source of stress, another list of things to do.
Precisely. The noise, the clutter, the unfinished tasks. It can all add up. Jenny's flipping that script. She's saying, no, this space can be different. It can be the antidote.
An antidote to the daily chaos. That makes so much sense. You go out, you navigate the busy world, the commute, the work, the stimuli, and then you come back to a place that actively helps you decompress.
Allows your nervous system to actually settle down. It's not just escape, it's repair. It's rebuilding your resources.
Yeah, repair is a good word for it.
And this quiet, the safety, it's not just for collapsing on the sofa, although that's important too.
Right, she builds on it.
She does. She says home is a place for many things. Fun things, simple things, peaceful things. See, it's not just a crash pad.
It's a hub. A purposeful hub.
A purposeful hub, I like that. It's a space where she intentionally chooses to do these low-stress things that add to her well-being, her growth. It's an active creation of a nurturing environment, not just a place where she is, but where she's, becoming.
A personal ecosystem for growth. I love that. So let's connect this directly to learning, especially for someone learning English like Jenny's main audience. What are the implications of having this kind of home base?
This is where it gets really practical and powerful for learners. A home that feels quiet, calm, and safe dramatically boosts your ability to learn effectively.
How so?
Well, think about trying to learn something complex like new grammar or vocabulary when you're stressed or there's noise or you feel rushed.
It's almost impossible. Your brain's fighting on too many fronts.
Exactly. Your cognitive resources, your mental energy, your focus, it's all divided. You're trying to learn, but you're also filtering distractions, managing stress.
That's exhausting. It leaves no room for the actual learning.
Right. But in that calm, safe space Jenny describes, your focus sharpens. Your mind is free from fighting those external battles. You can actually engage with the material, absorb it deeply.
So the environment she creates sets the stage for the activities she does later.
Perfectly put. It's holistic. First, create the right container, the peaceful home. Then, fill it with the right activities, that slowness, that focus she cultivates. It makes learning feel more natural, less like a struggle.
Okay, that makes total sense. A peaceful foundation for growth. So let's move from that big idea to the specific things she does. The daily rituals. It starts with her morning, right? That mindful moment with tea or coffee.
Yes, this is lovely. She says, I sit near the window with a warm cup in my hands. I breathe, I listen to the birds, and I enjoy my tea. Sometimes coffee.
It sounds so simple, but there's more going on than just hydration, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. It's the intentionality. Most of us, let's be honest, grab our drink and immediately jump into emails, news, scrolling.
Guilty as charged.
Me too, sometimes. But Jenny creates this deliberate pause. It's mindfulness in action. She highlights breathing, just noticing her breath and listening to the birds, actively engaging her senses with the world outside.
Grounding herself in the present moment.
Exactly. Pulling herself away from worries about the day ahead or things that happened yesterday. Connecting with the now through sensation before the world starts making demands.
It's like a gentle launch into the day instead of being shot out of a cannon.
Precisely. A soft start. A mini meditation almost. And think about the effect that has.
How does starting like that with contemplation affect the rest of her day, do you think? Mood, productivity.
I think it sets a profoundly positive and resilient tone. It's like warming up your mind and spirit, not just your body. By taking those first few minutes for quiet self-care, for just being, she builds this little buffer of inner calm.
Like an inoculation against today's stress.
Sort of, yeah. It makes you more centered, more resilient when things inevitably get busy or stressful later. You're starting from a place of peace, not a place of rush. It helps you set your own pace for the day, right from the beginning.
And thinking about our listeners learning English, even this quiet moment can be a tiny practice opportunity, right?
Definitely. You could, just silently narrate what you see or feel in simple English.
Like, the sky is blue today, or my tea is warm.
Exactly. Or I hear a car. Just little things. It weaves the language into the fabric of your life naturally. It's part of that slowly approach Jenny embodies. Gentle, consistent exposure becomes a habit, not a homework assignment.
I love that. Okay, so from the quiet morning, she then talks about reading. Another cornerstone.
Yes. She says, I love to read books. Books help me relax. Books help me learn new things. My favorite book is a storybook. Pretty universal, right?
Very. But then she adds the crucial bit for language learners.
She does. And it's so strategic, so insightful. She acknowledges that dual benefit reading relaxes you, takes you away, but it also teaches you, expands your world.
But the specific advice.
Sometimes I read in English, slowly. 1 page, every day.
That phrase, slowly, 1 page, every day. That feels like the absolute core of her learning philosophy.
It really is. It's all about consistency over intensity. Think about it. The idea of tackling a whole novel in English can feel totally overwhelming if you're a beginner.
Absolutely paralyzing. You might not even start.
Exactly. But 1 page every day, that feels achievable. It feels inviting even. It makes the whole process sustainable.
Avoids burnout.
Completely. Small, consistent actions build momentum without overwhelming you. That 1 page becomes 2, maybe a chapter, almost without you noticing. It reframes progress as steady steps, not giant leaps.
And she tackles that fear of not understanding everything head on, doesn't she? Which is such a huge barrier for learners.
Yes, this is so important. She says, even if you don't understand everything, you will learn with time. That is such a comforting and empowering message.
Takes the pressure off perfection.
Totally. So many learners get stuck feeling they need to know every word. They look up everything. It takes forever. They get frustrated and they quit.
Right.
Jenny's saying, trust the process. Keep going. Exposure, context, your brain's amazing ability to figure things out. It works. You just need time and consistency. That slowly 1 page approach lets that happen naturally.
It's like building with Lego bricks. You don't see the whole castle at first, but you keep adding bricks.
Great analogy. And the natural result of adding those bricks consistently.
I learn new words.
Right. Not by memorizing lists, but by seeing words again and again in context. They just stick naturally. It becomes part of your understanding, not just something you crammed for a test.
Learning by doing, by experiencing.
Yeah.
So much more effective. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Music comes next.
Ah, yes, another delight. She says, I also love music. Music makes me feel good. Simple, but true.
And she uses it very intentionally. At home, I play calm music. Sometimes happy music, sometimes soft piano.
See? It's active mood regulation. She's not just putting on background noise, she's choosing the soundtrack to influence how she feels. Calm music for relaxing, happy music for a boost.
It's accessible self-care through sound, controlling her internal environment.
Exactly. And then the language learning angle comes back in.
Right. Try listening in English. It helps your ears get used to the sounds.
Yeah.
Such a simple, powerful tip.
It's fantastic for passive immersion. Just having English music playing, even if you're doing something else, exposes your brain to the sounds, the rhythm, the intonation.
You're not actively studying, but your ear is learning.
Precisely. Your brain starts to recognize the patterns, the flow, the music of spoken English. It builds that auditory foundation, which is so crucial for understanding and speaking. Again, it's gentle, consistent exposure, no pressure.
And the activities she mentions, I sing a little, I dance a little, I smile a lot. That makes it enjoyable, learning through joy.
And that's key, isn't it? When you enjoy something, you want to do it. It taps into intrinsic motivation, doing it for the pleasure of it, not because you have to.
Makes it sustainable, less like a chore.
Way less like a chore. Music connects emotionally, making the learning more memorable, more holistic. It's a reminder that language learning can be fun, not just workbooks.
Definitely. Okay, now for something that might raise a few eyebrows. Cleaning.
Yes. She says, now, let's talk about cleaning. Yes, cleaning. Sometimes. I like to clean my room.
For most people, that's the opposite of a favorite thing. A necessary evil, maybe?
But she frames it as
A form of self-care, which is unexpected. How does cleaning become self-care?
it's a really powerful reframe. Okay, she mentions the obvious tangible stuff. I sweep the floor, I fold my clothes, I put things in the right place, creating physical order. Fine.
We all like a tidy room.
Sure. But the real insight is the psychological effect. She says, after cleaning, I feel good. The house is fresh. My mind is clear. That link. Physical tidiness, mental clarity.
A clear space, a clear mind. We kind of know it, but she states it so directly.
And it's true. Physical clutter can feel like mental clutter. It's distracting, maybe even subtly stressful. The act of cleaning, of creating order outside yourself, often helps create order inside.
Like organizing your thoughts by organizing your stuff.
Kind of, yeah. It's an active process, almost meditative for some people. You're taking control, completing a task, making your environment more peaceful. That reduces mental noise, lets you focus better. It's self-regulation through action.
So it's not just about aesthetics, it's about creating an environment that helps everything else, studying, relaxing, whatever, optimizing your space to optimize your mind.
Exactly. A calm, organized home supports all those other good things Jenny does. It reduces friction, reduces stress. Even having one clear desk corner for your English study makes a difference. It's psychological hygiene.
Psychological hygiene, I like that. Okay, alongside cleaning, she mentions another introspective practice, especially for the evening. Journaling.
Yes. At night, I like to write. I write in a notebook. I write about my day, my feelings, my goals.
Such a simple tool, but so powerful for reflection.
Absolutely. It's a way to process things, to get thoughts and feelings out of your head and onto paper, which can make them feel more manageable.
Less overwhelming.
Right. You can understand yourself better, release stress, clarify what you want. It's a quiet conversation with yourself, helps you wind down.
And predictably now, she connects it to English practice. Brilliantly.
She does. You can write in English too, even one sentence. That's the magic phrase again.
Even one sentence takes away all the intimidation.
Completely. You don't need to write a perfect essay. Just start. Today I feel happy, or I listened to an English podcast. Anyone can do that, right? Lowers the barrier right down.
Makes it instantly accessible.
And because you're writing about your day, your feelings, the language becomes intensely personal and relevant.
Which helps you remember it better than random vocabulary lists.
Much better. The words have meaning to you. They're connected to your life. It reinforces vocabulary and structures in a context that matters. It turns English into a tool for your own self-expression.
So these habits are woven through her day, creating this calm, productive atmosphere. But then she comes right out and says it.
Yes.
One of my favorite things to do at home is learning English.
Yes.
Just like you. That direct connection.
Oh, that's so powerful for her audience. She's saying, I'm not just telling you what to do, I'm doing it too. We're in this together. It builds empathy, camaraderie, makes learners feel less alone.
Validates their efforts, and then she gets practical.
Right. She moves from the why to the how. She shares her methods, listening to podcasts like you are right now, reading simple stories, which we talked about, and then repeating words out loud.
Sounds basic, but why is that specific action so important?
It's crucial. Saying words out loud does a few things. First, pronunciation. You're physically making the sounds, using your mouth, tongue, throat muscles in ways maybe your native language doesn't require.
Like a workout for your mouth.
Exactly. Second, muscle memory. The more you say the sounds, the more automatic they become. Speaking feels more natural. Third, it connects hearing, speaking, and meaning all together. It makes the language active, not just passive understanding.
Takes it from your head into the real world.
Yes. And then she mentions a specific technique building on this.
The shadowing technique.
Right. You listen and repeat right away. She gives an example. She might say, I am happy. You immediately say, I am happy.
Why is that so effective for fluency?
Because you're not just copying words. You're copying everything. The intonation, the rhythm, the speed, the little ups and downs of natural speech.
The music of the language.
Exactly. It trains your ear and your voice to work together, mimicking how native speakers sound. It improves your flow, your naturalness, even your comprehension, much more than just repeating single words in isolation.
It's like learning a song by singing along immediately.
Perfect analogy. Yeah. And notice how even in her example, I speak slowly, she reinforces that deliberate pace. It's conscious practice.
It does sound like a powerful workout. And she wraps up this section with affirmations.
Yes, simple but vital. I am learning English. I speak every day. I can do this. Great.
Why are these so important? Seems almost too simple.
Because the psychological side of learning is huge. Language learning is tough. You have good days, bad days, days you feel stuck.
Moments of doubt.
Absolutely. These affirmations are like your inner cheerleader. They reinforce your commitment, remind you of your progress, build that self-belief you need to keep going when it feels hard. That positive mindset is essential.
That inner dialogue matters as much as the practice.
It really does. And it all ties back to how she integrates learning into her life. It's not a chore she dreads.
No, she said she loves learning English at home. It's woven in.
It is. Reading, music, journaling. It becomes part of her enjoyable, peaceful routine, not something separate she has to force herself to do. That integration is the key to making it stick long term. It becomes a lifestyle, not a task.
That slowly, consistently approach again makes it sustainable.
The ultimate hack for mastery, I think.
Okay, so she guides us through her day and finally brings us to the end. Her evening routine.
Yes, the wind down. It's described so beautifully. At the end of the day, I take a shower, I wear soft clothes, I light a candle, I sit and rest.
Again, seems simple, but it's clearly a deliberate ritual.
Oh, completely deliberate. It's all about signaling to the body and mind. Okay, time to shift down. Think about the senses she engages.
Warm water, soft fabric, gentle light.
Exactly. These are sensory cues that promote calm. They help transition you out of the doing mode of the day and into a state of rest and relaxation. It's actively helping her nervous system switch from go, go, go to rest and digest.
And she highlights one specific element. Quiet moments are important.
Yes. Not just physical relaxation, but mental space. In our noisy world, genuine quiet is rare, but it's vital.
Why vital?
It lets your mind process the day, release stress, just be without constant input. If your mind keeps racing with thoughts and worries, you can't sleep well, can you?
No, definitely not.
Quiet moments allow for that mental decompression, like letting your brain tidy up before shutting down for the night. It's the ultimate slowdown.
And the payoff is clear. They help me sleep well. They help me feel good.
Which loops right back around, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Good sleep is the foundation for everything. Energy, focus, learning ability, mood.
The virtuous cycle.
It is. And her entire day, all these practices, they support that cycle. It all comes back to her main theme. Make your home a peaceful place. Every activity contributes to creating this nurturing environment for herself. It's intentional living at its best.
So wrapping this up, Jenny's favorite things. The tea, the reading, music, cleaning, journaling, learning English, resting. It's not just a random list.
Not at all. It's a blueprint, a holistic approach to creating a life at home that feels calm, fulfilling, and supportive of growth.
They're interconnected practices building mindfulness, learning, self-care.
Right. Finding joy and purpose in the everyday stuff, the simple moments. She reminds us that richness isn't just in big achievements, but in the quiet accumulation of these peaceful, intentional moments. finding strength in slowness.
So, a thought for you, our listener. Take a moment to think about your own home, your own routines. How could incorporating just one of Jenny's simple, slow practices change things for you?
Maybe it's 5 minutes of quiet with your tea. Maybe it's reading one page in English. Maybe it's just tidying one small space.
Does that have to be huge?
No. The question Jenny leaves us with, really, is how can you make your home a more peaceful place? A place that supports your well-being, your learning, your growth. What one small, slow change could you make starting today?
Something to definitely ponder. Thank you for diving deep with us into the simple wisdom of Jenny's approach.
A pleasure. It's surprisingly profound.
Until next time, keep learning, keep smiling, and maybe find ways to make your home your favorite place too.